Hello and welcome to Vancouver Carpenter. So today we have a pretty common problem, and that's when your wall sticks out much more than the door jamb. So in this case, it's like a big 1/4 inch. If I put this trim on, I'm gonna have a 1/4 inch gap between the jamb and the casing. Or if I nail it on all crooked like, then it's gonna look really stupid, and there's gonna be a massive gap here, and you'll see that your casings aren't flat. So how do we fix this? Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble this casing, the unit, together with this newfangled awesome crazy glue method. So anyways, let's get that together and then I'll show you guys how I'm going to deal with this and get that sitting more flush. Oh, I keep giving it too hard of a squeeze on that first one. All right, glued together. Let's go upstairs. All right, now I'm going to show you guys what we're going to do. And what we're going to do is scribe a line and cut the drywall out and then scrape it out until it's flush with the jamb, so that this trim just kind of rests in that little groove we make. So the first thing I'm going to do is line this up like so. And you want to make sure it's where you want it. If it's too high, it's not going to work right. And so you don't have to do it this way. You can do it just with the pieces separate. It doesn't have to be together like this. This is just how I wanted to try it today. I'm going to clamp this right here so that it doesn't move. Testing that miter. So it's lined up on a 1/4 inch this way and it's on my line right there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife and very carefully scribe a line right down to about here. That's where the problem seems to stop. And then I'm also going to do this part, and I'm going to be careful not to slash A, myself by cutting towards myself like that, but B, also to go past here, like slash out like that. We're just going to gently make a line right there, and it seems to only go about that far and then it's good. Let that go, set this aside. We need almost a 1/4 inch out of here. Now that those lines are there, I can make them more definite. So I'm going over it very carefully and slowly so that I don't accidentally veer off in any direction. And I want to go about a 1/4 inch deep. I don't want to go all the way through. So that's good there. Start up here. It'd be easier if I was on a ladder, but I'm not, so you know. Okay, there's a 1/4 inch out there. Oh, almost went past. Now I'm going to take my handy dandy glazier's bar, and this is a good tool because we're going to use both ends of this. But for starters, I'm just going to start shaving this out like so, flush with the jamb right here. A hammer would feel better than my hand does, but you know, I'm just showing you how super butch I am after talking about my dainty piano hands all the time in my other video. Oh, that's what you don't want to do, guys. Don't do that. See how I went a little too far there? But now at this point, you can use this side to scrape it flat. So this is where, if I was actually on a ladder, I would probably be being a little more careful. Okay.
Can I step in for a sec?
Huh?
Can I step in?
Yeah.
I think it'll be way easier if you just, you know.
Oh, smash the stuff.
Smash the drywall. It's gonna get a little softer.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And then you just remove it, you know.
I forgot about that. So let's, yeah. So my filmer, who does a lot more of this stuff than me, reminded me that this is actually the best way to go about it, which is you crush the drywall. And so I don't do this a lot, so I forgot about that handy dandy technique that makes it a lot easier to get that first layer off. So now, yeah, look at that. See? That's why you have filmers that know more about carpentry than you do. Vancouver drywaller. There we go. Okay, so we're getting closer, and that's where this, again, comes in real handy. Paint scraper could also work, but this is what we have. Why switch tools when you've already got one in your hand? Now, doesn't that just look horrible? Why would you do that to someone's house? Well, I'll show you in a minute. Let's check this casing again. See what it's doing. So, look at that. It's got a little spot that it sits in. When that gets caulked, you don't really see it. And now this is sitting flush. Real nice right here. Once we nail this, come look at that gap. Once we nail that, that gap's going to be almost gone. Let's get this in place and get it nailed on. That's looking pretty good there. Okay, I'm going to leave that like that. And guys, don't forget, when you are holding your nail gun, you want it perpendicular, or as I said, gangster style. But across the header, it's not gangster style. But if you missed that video, here's how it goes. 90s gangster what style. So the reason you hold it that way is that way the brad nail doesn't split out the side because of which way the chisel tip is. If you hold it this way, the chisel tips are like this and they can split out the side. They'll follow the grain and they'll find their way out. Not every time, but sometimes they will. So maybe this is a lot of work to you guys and you think, well, why would I do that? I can just caulk that, it's white, no big deal. And then you don't have this uneven reveal right here. Because if you take a look, you can see that that's not totally even. You see it goes from 1/4 inch back down to 1/2 inch. So you could also do that more gradually. But when you do need to start doing things like that is if you're doing stain grade trim, then that actually becomes pretty important because you can't have a 1/4 inch gap from your stain grade trim to your stain grade door. They don't make stain grade caulking. So that's when this trick starts to become pretty darn useful. Anyways, that's how I take care of it when it's really out of flush like that. That's a pretty common method. And thankfully, we had, you know, the filmer dude that knows more and remembered to hit it with a hammer. I'm sure half of you were going to be screaming at me to do that the whole time as he was in his head and he finally said something. Anyways, thanks for watching Vancouver Carpenter. I hope that solves that problem you had. If you found this video useful, you know, feel free to let me know by doing all them likey, subscribey things. And thanks for watching. Video's over, guys. I'm rambling. Time to end it.